So today's April 20th, 2018. I was gonna do a video today, but I just found out something that's very, very sad to me. So Avicii passed away today, and uh, I'm at a loss for words. He's a very young guy. He's 28 years old, and he had so much more to live for. So the reports came out a few hours ago. I'm not too sure. I didn't read any reports that said how he passed away, but um, it's just sad. The past couple years, he stopped DJing. He decided to stay away from this type of lifestyle that encourages you to binge on travel, binge on drinking, drink on. It was an excess of capitalism which he was experiencing. So I feel like I should take a moment to go over some of the great things he did, and also I'll talk a little bit about health because that's something that not a lot of people talk about. And musicians are usually the number one or one of the top professions where depression um, is encountered. So, and it's not something you can completely avoid at all costs because there's moments where you just doubt yourself. There's moments where you are in a rut for months, and that's part of being a creative person. And there's moments where you're pushed into doing things. For example, he might Avicii signed off on a deal which pushed him to his limits to the point where he was not capable to function as a human being. He had to be hospitalized. He had kidney failure and stuff like that. So if a guy in his caliber was going through that, we can only imagine what other artists have to go through. And it's sad. It's very sad. So you should definitely talk a bit more about health amongst us musicians. And I don't know. Also, depression. So we should try to do as much as we can without overwhelming ourselves. And we should also try to not let other people boss us around. So in this case, I feel like maybe his management a couple years ago was pushing him too much, which is probably what led to his troubles a couple years ago. So, not saying that had anything to do with his death. I'm not sure. The reports have not come out yet. But it's something that we should talk about because we should be able to enjoy life, whether it's short, long, or anything. And I feel like he was a very dark time when he should have been, or we saw him as being happy. So while he was presented to us as being a superstar with no issues, he was hurting inside. So that's something we should also consider as and take into consideration as artists. And another thing, I don't. We should try to look at life at in a very positive standpoint. I myself right now have been in a rut. I have not been able to write, not been able to make video content, which a lot of people have been asking me for a few months now. So I think we should try to put everything aside and try to focus on what makes us happy. And for me at this point is to make content, but for someone else it might be completely different. So focusing on something that really you're passionate about that will help you grow as a person and that is sort of fulfilling, you know, and try not to do things that make you extremely uncomfortable. So I think that's my 2 cents about this, and I'm gonna go over some of the achievements that Avicii did. Okay, so I'm gonna go over some of the awards he won. On top of making amazing club music, his first early years as a producer, he ventured off doing pop music, which a lot of people know him for. particularly Levels and everything after Levels is what most people know him for. But some of the songs that I do really love about him and are Penguin, just the one that Leona Lewis sampled. So yeah, it's just this is just hard to talk about right now. But all right, let's go through some of the stuff he did good. Um, so he was nominated for favorite electronic dance artist 2 years in a row for under the American Music Awards. He won in 2013, and he came up runner up in 2014. And in Billboard Music Awards, he won the top dance electronic song in 2014 with "Wake Me Up." Beautiful, beautiful song. Um, he was also nominated for a top dance album with True, and in 2014. And quick comment right there. I feel like this is Billboard. I'm thinking about the Grammys. He also won an Echo Music Award in 2014 for Electronic Dance Music International Artist, and he was nominated for Grammy twice. Once for Sunshine with David Guetta, and again with under Levels with Best Dance Recording. Now about the Grammys, I do not think the Grammys represent the actual artists who at the time are breaking into the sound of dance music. I feel like they're really far behind, and I do feel like Avicii should have won 2013. I feel like Porter Robinson should have won in 2014, but let's go on with his awards. So he also won an iHeartRadio Music Award for "Wake Me Up" in 2014 as the EDM Song of the Year, and in the IDMA Awards he won Avicii as Best Solo Artist in 2013. He was also nominated for Best European DJ the year before that. And under MTV, he was nominated during 2012 as Best Electronic Act and as Best Swedish Act. And in 2013, he won as Best Electronic and Best Swedish Act. And then he was also nominated for Best Northern European Act. And in 2015, he was also nominated for Best Electronic and Best Swedish Act. And his songs Levels, Wake Me Up, and Hey Brother were all nominated during 2012 and 2014 respectively in the MTV Video Music Awards. Under the Teen Choice Awards, he won in 2014 with the Wake Me Up single as the EDM choice song. And under World Music Awards, he was nominated for Wake Me Up, True, as the best song and best album respectively in 2014. And he was also nominated for Best Male Act and Best Live Act, World's Best Live Act in 2014. And let's see. And he won for Best Electronic Dance Act in 2014 and Best Swedish Act in 2014. So those are just some of the awards he won. But the most important thing is the positive vibes he brought to people across the world with his music. And people loved him. And even before he was a big DJ, people loved him in dance music. So it's just a terrible loss for the dance music community. And I feel like we should all do something that we love, and that we shouldn't let other pressures get in the way of our happiness. And I feel like he might have done that around the 2013 era and let people take control of his life, unfortunately. So with that being said, have a nice day, and let's enjoy Avicii music, and let's So with that being said, we should share condolences with his family, with his loved ones, and I think we should enjoy his music till the end of time. Thank you.